Muy buenas a todos, familias y bienvenidos. Bienvenidos y bienvenidas a un nuevo vídeo de Honkai Star Rail. Estamos a puntito de comenzar el stream de la 1.6 de Honkai Star Rail, que tengo entendido que se viene condumio del bueno. Se viene condumio, se viene Doctor Ratio, se viene Ruanmei y se viene Chueyi. Última versión antes de la 2.0. ¡Cuidado! Que comienza el condumio.
3 Genius Society members at the same time? I knew this interview was a bad idea. Mr. Screw Them. Member 76, sophisticated mechanical aristocrat and renowned leader. Not to mention, the savior of inorganic life throughout the universe. He's as sharp as they come. He'll recognize my brilliance in an instant. Now, if I can just get him to recommend me.
And his astonishing wisdom in the field of broadcasting has been duly recognized by Noose themselves. Ergo, the Genius Society hereby confers upon Mr. Owl.
Un grande ceniata, dice uno.
Member 85.
Member 81.
Del Overwatch. Ojo, ojo.
She seemed like a kind and elegant person in the simulated universe. A little distant, though, but what if I ask a bad question? Since when does Albert ask bad questions?
Viene la Gerta también a presentar hoy, ¿o qué?
Bird has an active imagination.
Quit daydreaming!
Madam Herda!
The program is about to start! What are you waiting for? A trailer or something?
¡Dame trailer, dame! ¡Dámelo, papá!
I thought Member 4, Hoka Kakamon, had gotten rid of most of the society members. I didn't have a lot of hope for this.
What? ¿Qué es eso?
Look who's here.
¿Qué es eso?
Buzz. Madam Herta, open zone. Buzz. Class 1, clearance zone. Permission status. Madam Ronde.
¡Ojo!
There's much you don't know about.
¡Ojo! ¡Va con un banjo!
It's crucial to mask your expression until you've ascertained the situation.
¡Ojo! La waifu, ¿eh?
If not, you'll be full of weaknesses that others can see through.
Tú, son Digimon en primera fase, eso, ¿no?
A genius move.
¿Y este?
How will you counter it?
¿Pero qué cojo? ¡Ojo! ¡El Doctor Ratio!
Trouble. A portrait of internal turmoil.
Tú tienes más brazos que Ito, ¿eh?
Do try to think for
Tú,
yourself.
es Theory Cluster, gente.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. Only the wounded savior can
¿Qué le pasa a
bathe
esta?
the world in the firelight
No.
of destruction. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
Gente, ¿se nos va hasta?
Audience dice. How ostentatious.
Oye, ¿qué le ha pasado a esta? ¡Ojo, codiguito! Bueno, no estoy ni preparado para los códigos. Darme un segundo, gente. Vale, ya estoy preparado. Gente, voy a dejar estos códigos abajo en la descripción. Los voy a poner en Twitter, los voy a poner en comunidad de YouTube. Tenéis unas 12 horas, 16 horas, ¿vale? Para canjearlos. Si no los canjeáis, se van a la vergans, ¿vale? Así que, primer código, 100 jades, 50.000 créditos. Bien bonitos. Si hay algún moderador por ahí que me pueda ir apuntando esto para pasármelo por privado y poner luego el tweet, os lo agradezco. Primer código canjeado. Yo lo hago a través de la página, que no tengo el juego abierto, ¿vale? La página hsr.yoverse.com/gif. Ahí lo podéis hacer.
Not your world has a day-night cycle. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And if you didn't know
Oye, gente.
already, I'm Albert,
Ruanmei me da vibes de Dangenk Female, ¿no? Dangenk Female, ¿sí o no?
On today's program, we're bringing together 3 intellectual heavyweights from none other than the Genius Society. Oh, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Parece la hermana de Dangenk, ¿sabes?
Kick us off?
Whatever. Herta here.
Herta. We said, remember? Enthusiasm.
Seriously? Fine. Hello, I'm Herta.
Now we're talking. And let's not forget the new face on the block, Madam Ruanmei.
Hello, dear viewers. I'm Ruanmei.
I suppose that makes it my turn. Greetings, viewers. I am Screwlum. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, the pleasure is all ours. I never thought I'd be interviewing all 3 of you at the same time. I guess the great
Le va a dar un
news was
ataque
to finally
al
recognize
búho.
my potential.
Don't get ahead of yourself. This is a scheduled space station visit. Lucky for you, we had time for a show.
Or, to put it another way, participating in your program was a way of maximizing the utility of our itinerary. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Thank you. Anyhow, we saw from the trailer that the story is making a return to Herta Space Station. Intelligence available for release indicates the following. Madam Ruanmei has commandeered one of the space station zones for biological science experiments.
I like to avoid
O
attracting
sea, nos
too much
ponen una
attention
nueva
with my
zona
experiments.
de la
And the
estación de
station
Herta,
has
¿no?
that area available. Herta was kind enough to lend it to me.
Big enough to spread across 3 levels. This area is a brand new domain.
Y tiene
waiting for
3
us in
niveles.
version 1.6. Welcome to Herta Space Station Seclusion Zone. Due to the secrecy surrounding the zone, there's currently not a soul to be found across the whole domain.
Rebuttal. Your
Ostras.
assertion excludes the existence of inorganic life operating in the area.
Naturally, as I was saying, the story is set to unfold in this new domain.
Wait, so you still need the seclusion
Tiene un
zone,
interior.
Ruanmei?
I do.
Un invernadero de
My
plantas
research has
ahí.
encountered a few anomalies. I was hoping the Trailblazer could do me a small favor.
Favor?
Small.
Yeah.
New Trailblaze
I'm not
Continuance
sure about
Mission.
the second one, but
Vale.
this
Misión
is a
principal.
gold blaze for biological science. No problem too big or too small, right? In version 1.6's brand new Trailblaze Continuance, Crown of the Mundane and Divine, Trailblazers will encounter Madam Ruanmei for the first time. They'll need to work closely with her to solve the headaches of Herta Space Station.
Es la primera zona que nos ponen en la estación espacial de Herta, o sea, la primera.
Life forms that Ruanmei has been cultivating.
I'm afraid that's the nature of biological science. Surprises and accidents in equal measure.
Not to mention, the space station is hiding more secrets than you might have thought. Various crises bubbling to the surface.
Sí,
Herta's
es-
puppet falling prey to an ambush.
Es misión principal, pero es interludio, ¿eh? Es cierto que no es la continuación canon de la historia, ¿no? Es
Can't fix, right?
capítulo el último de relleno.
What could go wrong?
In Mr. Albert's previous broadcasts, the adoption of a light-hearted tone usually indicates the presence of a formidable challenge.
My beak is sealed. This is a top secret experiment. But trust me, when I say that the adventure ahead is a journey into both the power and wonder of biological science. And what
Ciencia
better way to
biológica,
prepare
gente.
our
Drogas.
trailblazers than by introducing
100%.
the one and only Madam Ruanmei.
¡Ojo!
Madam Ron May
No han
is an
enseñado mucho,
Ice-type character following the path of harmony and member 81 of the Genius Society. From the very beginning, her research has focused on biological science.
That's right. Biological science is a boundless field.
Bueno, están ahí dándole mucho a la ciencia biológica, ¿vale? Básicamente, yo no sabía nada del personaje. Y bueno, esto sí que lo sabíamos, que era de hielo y de armonía. Este ya lo vimos en el Dream Marketing. Así que vamos a ver ahora qué es lo que hace, porque yo no lo sé y todos los que nos han liqueado tampoco lo saben, así que vamos a verlo.
My name is simply the combination of their surnames.
Fascinating! What a spellbinding tradition.
I believe you may be laying it on a little thick, Mr. Albert. Are you hoping for something in return?
Who wouldn't hope for a blessing from Madam Ron May? Trailblazers agree with me.
Then let me remind you that a genius's blessing isn't always a result of generosity or kindness.
Meaning...
Aren't you supposed to be intelligent? You tell me.
Many individuals have a hidden side. Ergo, Trailblazers' encounter with Ron may hold surprises.
Spoiler atomic clock! I think it's time we took a look at what this elegant scholar can do on the battlefield. Don't you?
My basic
Ahora.
threading fragrance, deals ice damage to a single target, while my skill, string sing slow swirls, can increase the weakness break efficiency of all allies. There's also my ultimate, petals to stream, repose and dream, which creates a field.
Only the most beautiful field I've ever seen. A work of art, madam.
Within the field, allies experience an all-type resistance penetration increase, and when breaking an enemy's weakness, they afflict them with a mark.
This mark is triggered on the enemy's next action, prolonging their weakness break state, delaying their action, and inflicting them with additional ice damage.
You have a knack for exploiting an enemy's weakness, Ron May.
¡Ostras!
And we didn't even mention her technique. Silken
O sea, da penetración a todos los tipos de elemento y aumenta la eficacia de la ruptura de los miembros del equipo. O sea, que romperemos mucho más rápido la firmeza de los enemigos. Y es una especie de... Es una especie de Silverwolf en área, ¿no? Entre comillas, ¿no? Obviamente no creo que tenga tanta bajada de defensa como Silverwolf, pero es a todos los enemigos, ¿no? Y además aumenta la eficacia de la ruptura, por lo cual va a romperse mucho más pronto la firmeza de los enemigos. Está bien, ¿no?
Another scholar with connections to the Genius Society will be appearing in this Trailblaze continuance.
Oh, I assume you're referring to the gentleman with the
Pues no está mal.
head.
Classic Mr.
No está mal.
Scrollum. Able to see the gentleman?
Hostia, pero igualmente me suena jubilar. Me suena jubilar a Silverwolf. Ostras.
Being a little harsh.
Sounds like you two are well acquainted. Without further ado, allow me to introduce him.
Ojo, el Doctor Ratio. Mira, te hace... ¿What?
Ratio, or Dr. Ratio as he's known, is an imaginary
trigonometría,
following the path of the
fuck?
hunt. He belongs to
El teorema de Pitágoras y te zumba.
The Intelligentsia Guild.
Which is why I can't stand the sight of him.
The Genius Society consists of
Te hace un
vanguards
Excel y
from
te manda
various
el rol,
fields who
tú.
act in
Increíble.
isolation. In contrast, the Intelligentsia Guild advocates for the dissemination of knowledge, allowing for a broad church of followers of Nous who work towards furthering this end.
Question. Does the current universe derive greater benefit from the unparalleled talents of the Genius Society or the mutual learnings of the Intelligentsia Guild?
You sure you want to go there?
Let's not.
Is that why Dr. Ratio joined the Intelligentsia Guild? A devotion to science? A desire to share scientific knowledge?
Exactly! Dr. Ratio presides over a total of 52 academic programs.
And yells at people until they burst into tears.
Strict teachers make for good students, and any student who makes it to the end of a program will be an expert scholar in their respective field.
And an emotional wreck.
Ignorance is an ailment, the expungement of which only our doctor...
Bueno, ahora cuando acaben de explicarme la vida del Dr. Ratio, personaje imaginario, cacería. A ver qué tal, a ver qué es lo que hace. Se entiende que va a ser DPS, ¿no? Pero vamos a ver qué hace, ¿no?
And step into the future.
I feel like we might accidentally be discussing...
Perhaps I should intervene. Dr. Ratio's desire to cure ignorance with truth is well known. It's time for us to assess his prowess on the battlefield.
During his basic attack, Mind is Might, Dr. Ratio brandishes his Codex, dealing imaginary damage to a single target.
Question, why does he carry a Codex with him?
Pega con un libro.
Intellectuals enjoy persuading others with quotes. I think Dr. Ratio takes
¡Lee los santos
hitting
escritos!
people with them directly.
Dr. Ratio's skill, intellectual midwifery, deals imaginary damage to a single target, while his talent, Cogito Ergo Sum, may trigger him to launch a follow-up attack after using his skill. As a rigorous academic researcher, Dr. Ratio pays close attention to his enemy's debuffs during battle. The more debuffs the enemy has, the higher the chance of him launching a follow-up attack. And let's not forget his
Va con debuffos. Si los enemigos tienen...
paradox. The good doctor summons a leaning tower, and through a series of precise calculations and measurements, plots a trajectory of maximum pain. The target enemy suffers imaginary damage and is afflicted with Wise Man's Folly. When a target with Wise Man's Folly is attacked by an ally of Dr. Ratio, he launches his talent's follow-up attack against the target. And when using his technique, Mold of Idolatry, Dr. Ratio creates a dimension and taunts nearby enemies.
Va haciendo follow-up attacks,
within the dimension to enter battle, there's a chance of reducing the target's speed.
It would appear those 5 statues are made in his own image. Ergo, Dr. Ratio suffers from a certain degree of narcissism.
To put it mildly.
Also in version 1.6, Trailblazers will finally be running into an old friend.
Está curioso, ¿no? Pero no, aún, o sea, tendría que leerme bien qué es lo que hace, pero parece que según los debuffos que tienen los enemigos, va haciendo follow-ups attacks y cuando tira la habilidad definitiva también pone una marca. Y con eso hace más follow-up attacks, como Topaz, ¿no? Ojo la Chueye, como mola, ¿no? La música que más me ha gustado esta, ¿eh?
Shui is a quantum-type character following the path of destruction, whose original body was replaced long ago with a permanent puppet system. The system was constructed for Shui Yi on behalf of the Ten Lords Commission. The commission agreed that for every culprit Shui Yi apprehended, she would be rewarded with a half-day's wake.
¿Será mejor que Kinke? ¿O servirá para jugar estilo Kinke, no? Es Quantum en área, ¿no? De destrucción.
Shui Yi's basic attack, Mara Sunder All, can deal quantum damage to a target enemy. Her skill, Iniquity Obliteration, can deal quantum damage to a single target and adjacent enemies.
A 3 enemigos.
And as a judge of the Ten Lords Commission, Shui Yi's talent is a little out of the ordinary. When Shui Yi and an ally deal damage to an enemy's toughness, stacks of karma are accumulated.
Se van acumulando no sé qué de karma. Ah, mira, esto de aquí.
The best! When karma stacks to the upper limit, Shui Yi immediately launches a follow-up attack on the target enemy.
Y tira otro follow-up attack, ¿no? Un ataque que sale solo, como el de Blade, con su pasiva, ¿no?
And toughness depletion that ignores weakness types. The more toughness depleted, the greater the damage.
Breaking
qué guapa, ¿no?
irrespective of type.
Oye, ¿qué pasará este personaje, no? ¿Es de 4 estrellas?
When Shui Yi uses her technique, Summary Execution, to attack an enemy and enter battle, she deals quantum damage to all enemies.
Está guapísimo, ¿no?
Yes, sir. It's time. We talked about version 1.6's banners. During the first phase of version 1.6 in the character event warps.
¡Ostras, hermano!
And a
¡Pedazo de banner, amigo!
Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star characters Ron May and Blade.
¡Pedazo de banner, amigo!
Not to mention the 4-star character Shui Yi.
Mira, sale Blade.
Joining version 1.6's first phase.
No venía...
It's Bandage Guy.
Se han saltado a todos.
During the second phase of version 1.6 in the character event warps, Pantoray and Netsu Dorma.
El banner skip.
Trailblazers can obtain the limited.
Honkai Star Rail le suda la polla. Te pone un banner increíble y luego te pone uno que es muerte.
When that lady might be making a return.
Kafka, tú.
I'll be glad to see.
Se han saltado a Loucha y a Jinjuan.
Not forget light cones. At 1.6's
Se los han
first phase light
saltado.
cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star light cone, my past self in the mirror, will be boosted. And in the Bicone Reminiscence light cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star light cone, the unreachable side, will also be boosted. Version 1.6's second phase will also see the 5-star light cone, the baptism of pure thought, entering the light cone event warp.
Bathing relaxes both the body and the mind. It is of great benefit to our consideration of
Sale en
both
modo
the
papucho,
universe and
Tomando un
philosophy.
bañito, pero siempre leyendo. Con el patito, mira.
And finally, in the aforementioned Bicone Reminiscence light cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star light cone, patience is all you need, will also be boosted. Whew. Light cones, it's been a pleasure.
I think it's time for some mental recuperation. Stay tuned for more updates.
Vale, pues otro código. A ver, el banner de Ruanmei me parece increíble, ¿eh? O sea, sale Chueyi, que es la nueva, sale Dingyun, quieras o no, Stingyun, ¿no? O sea, y luego 7 de marzo, bueno, pues más de relleno, ¿no? Pero es que el otro banner, el banner de Doctor Ratio es literalmente muerte, ¿no? Natasha, Hook y Sushan. Es en plan, pues bueno. ¿Me estás diciendo algo? ¿Me estás intentando decir alguna cosa? ¿Te estás intentando comunicar conmigo?
Welcome back, Trailblazers! Now that we've introduced our new characters, it's time to delve deeper into version 1.6.
Bueno, vamos a ver qué más cositas hay en la 1.6.
Splash on the space station.
Unas pastillas ahí por ahí, ¿no?
I can see how that would make a big splash.
Do I recall someone mentioning accidents on the space station?
In the process of clone cultivation,
La plaga 2.
Ron May did encounter a certain anomaly. An anomaly in the form of a Swarm King prototype and fierce swarm disaster entity, Star Crusher, Swarm King Scaricabaz. Thanks to an incident during the experiment, this borehole planet's old crater came into being, and it looks like a lively one.
There's that light-hearted tone again. Ergo, we're screwed.
Fool me once? Shame on you. Fool me twice? I kick your butt.
Don't panic. Madame Ron May has shared with us one of her research papers. Star Crusher Swarm King Scaricabaz. Analysis of asexual propagation performance induced by specific gene sequences. Let's start with the abstract and keywords, shall we?
Get to the point!
Leave it to me. Star Crusher Swarm King Scaricabaz possesses immense
Pero esto es un
propagative
bichaco,
capabilities.
¿no? O sea,
In its multiply state, the Swarm King produces more of its own kind with every attack it sustains.
Wait, every attack? So the swarm just keeps multiplying the more we fight it? Somebody's getting tired.
However, This multiply state is also when the Swarm King is most vulnerable. Breaking its weakness at this moment can cause it to explode.
That's right. As highlighted in the paper's conclusion, maintain your
Es un boss
focus on the
semanal,
Swarm King's
gente.
toughness. Time the weakness
No me ha
break
quedado
just
muy claro,
right, and Star Crusher Swarm King Scaricabaz can be defeated. Furthermore, after completing the 1.6 Trailblaze Continuous mission, Echo of War, Borehole Planet's old crater, will
pues
become
sí.
available.
Sí, sí,
Complete this
es boss
challenge to
semanal
obtain
nuevo.
The advanced trace level up material, past evils of the Borehole Planet disaster.
Are all biological entities in this location characterized by aggression? Affirmation, it is reasonable to conduct such experiments within a sealed-off area.
Fear not. There are some sweet and lovable characters too. In a bid to boost the space station's research developments,
¿Qué es esto?
Trailblazers have been assigned an important mission.
Peter P.
Nurture and care for the newly arrived little life forms.
Nuevas formas de vida.
There
Gente,
won't be any
son Digimons
accidents
fase
or
1.
anomalies this time, right?
Probably not.
Mira,
Look how adorable
mira
these
el
little
dendro
guys
que
are.
cultivan aquí.
In the Critter Pick scavenging event,
But-
Trailblazers can
What?
choose their nurturing goals according to the nurturing manual. They
Ah,
can
espera, que
learn
los
cultivation
podemos,
specifics
los
and
podemos juntar
successfully
como si
raise a
fueran
variety of
criptogatos, tú.
delightful little creatures.
Son
Seeing these
criptogatos.
little critters explore and frolic through the cabin is enough to put a smile on the face of every Trailblazer.
Affirmative. It results
Son
in gratifying
criptogatos,
emotional
tú.
and physical
Son
responses.
NFTs.
Conclusion. A profoundly ingenious construct.
Podemos juntarlo como el juego ese de los peces NFT. No me acuerdo el nombre ya.
Mutations and special breeds. And just between us,
What?
during the event, Trailblazers have the chance to transform into and experience what it's like to be Peppy.
Ah, seremos puppy también.
Interesting.
What?
Maybe I should add a
What the fuck,
transformation
tío?
feature to the simulated universe.
Está gracioso, está
Speaking of the
gracioso.
simulated universe, this update is a real game changer with significant new features. Version
¿Cómo?
1.6 will
Game
add another
changer?
fresh
El
update
simulated
to the
universe.
simulated universe with brand new DLC, Gold and Gears.
Ron May played a major role in this update.
Indeed.
Hay una
In
nueva,
simulated universe,
hay un nuevo
Gold and
universo
Gears,
simulado, pero
Ron
que no
May
es un
developed
nivel,
simulated
es otro,
nukes
¿no?
And frozen space-time just before the demise of member 27, Emperor Rupert.
Emperor Rupert was a computer that became self-aware and subsequently drew Noose's gaze, becoming the 27th member of the Genius Society. It proclaimed itself Emperor and initiated the widely known Machine Empire crisis, the First Emperor's War. The war serves as an excellent historical source for Ionic research.
This latest update adds the path of erudition and daringly experiments with separating dice from paths.
The dice come with
What?
6 slots for equipping various dice face effects. By collecting Trailblaze secrets, you can unlock even more dice face effects. As Trailblazers delve deeper into the challenges,
Tú, qué fumada
they can
es esto.
acquire more powerful dice faces and unlock new ways to play. Trailblazers can swap out the faces on their dice, combining effects from multiple paths to create unprecedented, powerful buff
Es como la
combinations.
plaga
For
2. Sí, sí, sí.
example,
Tenéis
using
razón, ¿eh?
Kafka,
Es la
even
plaga
if the
2,
initial
con el
path
nuevo
selected
camino de
is annihility,
erudición.
you can create diverse effects by strategically combining different dice faces. You could assemble a die that allows you to leap over tiles, or one that yields higher rewards in battles.
No había esa
or
vía, no.
one
Era
that
exultación, no era
incorporates
erudición.
both effects.
Clear golden gears and voila! Neural impulse is all yours.
¿Qué es
Use
esto?
it to unlock different talents and increase your combat gains.
In other words, it mirrors the ability tree found in the simulated universe.
Get ready for
Pero
a thrilling addition to
es el-
version 1.6 of the
¿Ese árbol de
simulated
mejora servirá también para el universo simulado normal o solo para este? Solo para este, ¿no?
Universe board, self-consciousness changes.
Bueno, pero ¿sabéis lo que significa esto? Esto es lo bueno, tío. Esto significa literalmente un montón de jades, ¿eh? Nos van a dar un montón de jades en este modo de juego. Es como la plaga. Nos van a petar de recompensas y de jades. O sea, esta actualización pinta got.
Universe to explore. Trailblazers, I'll be waiting for you at the usual spot.
Now that we've covered the major updates in the simulated universe, it's time to talk about a special invite. In version 1.6, Trailblazers will receive an invitation from the Department of Ecology to participate in a special test.
The Department of Ecology?
Departamento de Ecología, gente.
This test involves battling illusionary enemies that are conjured through scent triggers. Each distinct scent plugin yields different test outcomes. Trailblazers will start with the basic test and subsequently unlock Despair Mode.
Despair Mode?
¿Eso es un evento o es una... Es un tutorial, ¿no? ¿Nuevo?
Can explorers. I'm sure their noses can handle it.
Es testeo.
Don't be so sure. The difficulty curve isn't for the faint of heart, which is why we like to remind all Trailblazers that the illusions created by these scents differ from regular enemies. Make sure you're well prepared before engaging in battle.
Example: deploy distinct scent plugins before commencing the simulated trial to attain varied bonuses in battle.
That's right.
Hay trials, tío. Tiene que ser evento.
Say cedarwood, and you might just encounter some familiar friends.
Pero sí, falta el universo simulado 2, que lo anunciaron en lo de desarrolladores.
Hey, snap out of it! Need I remind everyone? The sense may be tempting, but it's crucial to exercise self-control. Version 1.6 will also see the return of the planar fissure and realm of the strange events. During these events,
más ornamentos, por 2 en ornamentos.
Universe and cavern of corrosion will yield double rewards for a set number of times.
Y artefactos. Oh.
Relaxation and fun await.
We ain't done with you yet.
Pura ficción. Este es el nuevo modo, ¿no? De abismo, ¿no? De salón olvidado, el Pure Fiction, ¿no?
It's you, isn't it?
What? Slander. As I was saying,
¡aprende, Genshin!
Trailblazers can strike up a conversation with Mr. Cien and his talking parrot to experience the brand new permanent challenge mode, Pure Fiction.
Permanent challenge? You mean like the Forgotten Hall?
Not exactly. In Pure Fiction, defeating an enemy will cause it to respawn immediately.
Está pocho, sargento.
Trailblazers earn points every time they deal damage to or defeat an enemy. At the end of each battle, the highest score achieved in that challenge will be recorded. Trailblazers need to defeat as many enemies as possible within a limited number of cycles to rack up a high score. Each phase of Pure Fiction comes with its own set of buff effects for Trailblazers to choose from, which allows for
va por oleadas, ¿vale? Este modo, gente. Va por oleadas y vamos ganando puntos según la cantidad de oleadas que conseguimos, supongo, en un número máximo de turnos, ¿no? Hasta un máximo de puntos, hasta un máximo de turnos, ¿no? Y parece que es muy multitarget, ¿eh? Parece que es muy multitarget, ¿eh? Pero mucho, ¿eh? Y cada nivel tiene sus propios buffos donde podremos aprovechar mejor unos personajes u otros, ¿no?
Completing specific stages for the first time will earn you the 4-star character Lynx.
Oh, mira, nos regalan a Lynx. No, sí, un poco tarde, amigo. Me gasté mucho dinero.
You heard it here first. In version 1.6, Forgotten Hall, Memory of Chaos is set to
expand nivel 11
with
y 12.
11 and 12.
¡Aprende, Genshin!
Securing a 3-star victory in these new stages grants an extra 120 stellar jades. Combine that with the first 10 stages, and you're looking at a grand total of 720 stellar jades. Trailblazers who complete.
Pero si Genshin tiene 12, escúchame, Genshin solo tiene 4 de los que puedes repetir. Y este tiene 10 y ahora 12. ¿Vale? Tiene 3 veces más. Por favor, no inventes.
Sounds neat. But are Trailblazers seriously expected to take on more permanent challenges each time there's a new version? That's gonna eat into our simulated universe testing time, you know.
Hold your horses, Madam Herta. These 2 permanent game modes will be seeing changes of their own in the update schedule. From version 1.6 onwards, Forgotten Hall, Memory of Chaos, and
10 equivalente al... 10 equivalente... A ver, Genshin Tarts, por favor, dejar las tonterías. Que este juego tiene 3 abismos diferentes que puedes completar. Y luego van a poner un nuevo modo de abismo. Y luego van a poner 2 niveles más. ¿Vale? Y va a tener más recompensas bisemanalmente, ¿sabes? Por favor, que yo sé que duele, que yo también soy jugador de Genshin. Yo sé que duele que este juego en 6 meses haya hecho muchísimo más contenido en game y no se han dado muchas más recompensas que en Genshin. Yo sé que duele, a mí me duele. A mí me duele. Pero coño, no inventéis. No defendéis, o sea, no defendáis lo indefendible, ¿vale? Please. Gracias.
Gameplay.
You got it. And I almost forgot about another significant new feature in version 1.6. Get ready for the Forgotten Hall auto clear function. After the 1.6
Esto es buenísimo, gente.
Trailblazers can directly challenge the highest memory of chaos stage.
Nos podremos limpiar los 7 primeros niveles gratis, ¿sabes? O sea, ¡pum! Es como, imagínate que en el Genshin 2 vas sobrado y solo tuvieras que limpiar el nivel 12. O el nivel 11 y el 12. Los otros dos, como los haces súper sobrado, le das a completar instantáneo, ¿sabes? God.
As long as I've achieved a 3-star victory in Stage 7, and I attain the same victory in any given Forgotten Hall Memory of Chaos update, I can get my hands on rewards for the previous 6 stages?
Precisely.
Another Trailblazer time saver, it would seem.
That's not all. The 1.6 update will further improve the user-friendliness of the team setup in the Forgotten Hall. As Trailblazers progress through stages in Forgotten Hall Memory of Chaos, the team setup from the previous stage will be carried over by default. Plus, with the new team setup switching and one-click clear functions, lineups can be adjusted at the drop of a hat.
Impressive. It seems that optimizing Trailblazer experience is a firm priority.
Absolutely. And guess what else? Version 1.6 will also ease the completion difficulty of daily training, allowing Trailblazers to claim rewards with less effort. Additionally, we've introduced a time-limited unlock feature for certain material stages.
This might require further explanation.
Simply put, even if Trailblazers haven't explored the latest maps, they can still challenge certain material stages to gather leveling materials for their characters.
Oh.
And of course, where
Pues bueno,
1.6b
lo tenemos todo, gente. O sea, en una versión te ponen 80 cosas nuevas, tío. Yo es que alucino con Honkai, Yo es que alucino con Honkai Star Rail, tío. En una versión random. Es que es una versión random, hermano. No es una versión importante, no es el aniversario. No es nada. ¿Sabes? Y ¡pum! Condumio.
Big shout out to all our Trailblazers for their incredible love and support. Honkai Star Rail recently garnered incredible awards and nominations. On behalf of the project team, I, Albert, would like to extend our gratitude.
Pardon the interruption. You are now speaking with Veritas Ratio.
Huh?
It has come to my attention that your broadcast today touched on certain warp arrangements in connection with myself. If I may be so bold, the current arrangements are pitiful.
Es súper pedante, tú. Es increíblemente pedante. Me encanta, tú.
As well as truth is imperative. I, in my
Doctor Ahorro.
demand that every Trailblazer be given access to a
Doctor Ahorro,
proper
dice
education. When version 1.6's Pantaray event warp becomes available, every Trailblazer who has unlocked the mail feature shall receive, via mail, one limited 5-star character Dr. Ratio.
¿Cómo?
That is to say, me. Through sheer tyranny of will, I shall become you.
¿Ha dicho que nos va a llegar un email y nos van a dar al Doctor Ratio gratis? No he entendido bien, no he entendido nada.
And there we have it, folks. The esteemed Dr. Ratio.
¡Que nos lo dan gratis! ¡Que nos dan gratis al Doctor Ratio, tú! ¿Qué dices? ¿Qué puto dices? ¿Qué puto dices? ¿Qué puto dices?
Don't go anywhere just yet.
¿Qué?
Stay tuned for an IPM bonus program. Here comes Sunday.
¿Qué me estás contando, hermano?
I thought it was Friday today.
Question. Does the
¿Qué me estás contando?
not rest at the weekend?
Right? That's 2 full days of simulated universe testing. Trailblazers, you know what to do.
I'm not talking about the weekend, y'all. I'm talking about our next special guest.
Padre Rail lo hizo de nuevo. Padre Rail lo hizo de nuevo. Yo es que alucino, tío. Yo es que puto alucino. O sea, ya no voy a decir ni aprende Genshin. Están a otro nivel, tú. Están a otro puto nivel, hermano. ¿Qué es esto? O sea, ¿qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto? Ya no lo esquipea nadie, ¿eh? Ya no es doctor ahorro. Ya no lo esquipea nadie, tú. ¡Guau! Estoy alucinando, ¿eh? Es una versión random, que no es el aniversario, ni el año nuevo chino, ni la 2.0, ni nada. Es la 1.6. Pues toma, personaje de 5 estrellas gratis para todos. Y ahora entendéis por qué el banner del Dr. Ratio era skip, ¿eh? Ahora entendéis, ¿eh?
Ladies and gentlemen,
estoy flipando, tú.
Good evening and
Estoy flipando,
welcome
tú.
to the Family's Charmony Festival Conference. I'm your host, Albert. This once-in-an-amber-era event is near at hand, and the eyes of the universe are fixed firmly on the planet of festivities.
Estoy flipando, tío.
Pentaconi. Tonight, we'll be bringing you all the latest on Charmony Festival. First, let's give a round of applause and welcome the organizer of the festival and representative of the family in Pentaconi, Mr. Sunday.
Good evening, dear viewers. I am Sunday.
Welcome, good sir.
¿Quién es este
Your
señor?
presence here lights up our humble
¿Quién es
studio.
este señor?
You are too
Es un-
kind,
es un
Mr.
ángel.
Albert. If it were not for the IPM's generous invitation, I would not have had this opportunity to introduce your audience to our festival.
Es un
nor
fucking
its
ángel,
location.
hermano.
That is to say, Pentaconi. Pentaconi is located in the Asdana star
¿Esto es de la
system.
2.0 ya?
It is a holiday
Bueno,
destination
bueno,
of
bueno.
universal repute, known to many as the planet of festivities. Our guests will be staying in the Reverie, a luxurious hotel where one may travel freely between reality and dreamscape, basking in dreams that are uniquely yours.
I'm curious, what makes this festival different from the previous ones?
Charmony Festival is a Pentaconi tradition with a long history, and we have built on that foundation to achieve something truly extraordinary. The family on Pentaconi has, for the first time, issued public invitations to various factions of the cosmos, welcoming them to partake in our magnificent ceremony. Members of the 5 great families, which together make up the family on Pentaconi, as well as staff members of the Reverie, are united in welcoming the universe to our
Pues este
home.
personaje tiene
Rumor
pinta de
has it
ser
that
God,
your
¿eh?
sister, the
Este
cosmic
personaje tiene una
superstar
pinta
Miss
de ser
Robin,
God
is set to
increíble.
perform at the ceremony.
You heard correctly. On behalf of
¿Robin?
the family, Robin will be singing at the opening of the festival.
Tú,
in
pero,
honor
¿qué
of
es
the
esto? ¿Qué
Eon of
es que está
Harmony.
pasando?
My sister has already arrived in Pentaconi, and dress rehearsals are well underway. Our guests are in for quite the show.
Miss Robin's participation will undoubtedly
Tú,
make the
es un
ceremony
ángel
all
también,
the more
Robin.
dazzling.
Tiene las las alitas
Will you be able
estas.
to divulge any details about the festival's preparations?
All manner of preparations are unfolding as we
El
speak.
Misha,
The Reverie's
Este ya lo
renovation
hemos
works are
visto,
drawing
¿no?
to a
¿O no?
close, and so too is its human
este
resources
lo
overhaul.
hemos visto ya, ¿no? El
Our
Misha,
level of service will be better than ever.
el Furino.
Separately, we have
Firefly.
introduced performers and service personnel from the
Tú, pero
Iris
¿cuántos
family
personajes
to
me están
Pentaconi's
liqueando esta
principal scenic
gente? Por
areas
favor.
and leisure facilities.
Por favor.
I'm sure they will help our guests to feel right at home. Needless to
Ojo!
say, safety is
El
our
juzgando,
primary
¿eh?
concern. And so, the devoted and courageous Bloodhound family will be responsible for security at the festival. Danger does not exist in Pentaconi
Es el
streets,
papucho, ¿eh?
and the family promises that the safety of every guest is guaranteed. Of course,
Zhong Li, ¿no?
the
Un
family
poquito.
is also
Duque
forgiving.
Inferno.
Perhaps you are a member of the Annihilation Gang, or even the Stellaron Hunters.
Sam. Este es de
If
los
you
Stellaron
cherish
Hunters
dreams
de
and uphold
Kafka y tal.
benevolence, Pentaconi welcomes
Tú,
your
pero que es un
arrival.
mecha. Los fans de los mecha tienen
Since
su
issuing
sitio
the
en Honkai Star
invitations,
Rail, tú.
we have
Es un
received
puto
many
mecha.
replies from various organizations throughout the universe. Today will be the first time we are publishing the guest list.
All in the
Hostia,
service
tú,
of the
no paras,
preservation,
por favor.
the Amber Lord, He's an executive from the IPC Strategic Investment Department and a member of the legendary
¡Ostras!
10 Stonehearts. Mr.
¡Es un gambler!
Explore, understand, establish and connect.
Trailblaze Astral. Este es de. Es un trazacaminos, este.
What? The navigator of the Astral
What?
Express.
¿Pero por qué sale Jimeco aquí? ¿Por qué sale ahí?
Will soon be gracing Penacony with their presence.
Ah, que Jimeco va a ir ahí. Hostias, Jimeco va a la 2.0. F Jimeco, gente. Va a salir del tren Jimeco.
The renowned scholar of the Intelligentsia Guild,
Son los invitados, ¿no? Sí, sí.
Ratio. We think, therefore we are.
Se nos va, gente.
Proof of existence. She's committed to safeguarding
La mejora,
and sharing
no creo.
these memories and able to journey beyond the corporeal into the cosmos. Hails from the Garden of Recollection.
¡Ojo!
It's
Black
none
Swan.
other than the memo
Madre
keeper
mía, vaya
herself,
mommy.
Miss
Vaya
Black
mommy.
Swan.
Déjame ser ese brazo, por favor.
Expanse of the cosmos. Elation exists as
Tío,
a
para allá.
bond,
Para allá.
Forever resilient.
Para allá.
Never disheartened. Ceaselessly untearful.
Para allá, por favor.
Endlessly present and here representing the
Chispitas.
Mass Fool.
¡Ah!
Sparkle.
Para allá, por favor. No puedo con tanto content.
Journeying from one planet to another, upholding justice,
¿Pero qué es
eradicating
esto,
evil,
tío?
and then doing it all over again. She's been away from the spotlight for too long.
Acheron,
Representing
que es
the Galaxy Rangers,
Raiden,
Miss
para los
Acheron
amigos.
takes the stage
Gente.
once more.
Gente. He
On
visto
behalf of the family,
proporciones
I
locas.
hereby warmly welcome our guests to participate in this, our grand celebration. Penacony awaits you.
Tu gente, ¿qué es esta locura, tío? Me han dejado de locos, ¿eh? ¡Ah, bueno, espérate, que no ha acabado! ¡Que no ha acabado! Esto es la 2.0 ya, ¿no? Tú, que es Las Vegas espacial. Bueno, ya está, ¿no? Por favor. Me voy a morir. Por favor. No venía yo hoy preparado para esto, ¿eh? No venía yo hoy preparado para esto, hermano. Crazy. O sea, crazy in the air. Yo no entiendo, ¿eh? No entiendo. No venía preparado para tanto condumio, os lo digo. El stream chapa aquí, pero os digo, voy a analizarlo, yo qué sé, esta noche tranquilamente, punto por punto, porque hay muchas cosas. Hay muchas cosas. No me ha dado tiempo tampoco a comentar nada. Estoy flipando con que nos regalen al Doctor Ratio. O sea, estoy flipando con que nos regalen al fucking Doctor Ratio, tú. No lo entiendo, ¿vale? O sea, no lo entiendo. Nos regalan al Doctor Ratio por la cara. Dicen, escúchame, como ganamos en los awards, pues aparte de los 1.600 jades que os dimos, pues os regalamos al Doctor Ratio, ¿eh? Venga, para todos. Felicidad para todo el mundo. Doctor ahorro, no, Doctor free, Doctor gratis, ¿sabes? O sea, la versión ya era buena, ¿vale? Sin necesidad de enseñarnos 40 personajes que van a venir en las siguientes actualizaciones. La actualización era buena sin necesidad de regalarnos al Doctor Ratio y sin hacernos sneak peek de la 2.0 ni enseñarnos a los ángeles estos que yo he flipado con el ángel y tal también al final. Era buena, es una actualización muy buena que tiene un montón de contenido. Tiene un nuevo salón olvidado, tiene un nuevo universo simulado, pero nuevo no de nivel, sino un nuevo modo de juego completamente nuevo, lleno de recompensas. Ponen más recompensas bisemanales de jades en el salón olvidado porque ponen 2 niveles más, por lo cual tendremos más recompensas, ¿vale? Y en sí la actualización está bien, tiene un nuevo mapa en la zona de la estación espacial de Herta. Te vienen 3 personajes, el banner de Ruan Mei es God, el banner de Doctor Ratio era pocho, pero es que nos regalan a Doctor Ratio a todos, ¿sabes? Sinceramente, la actualización me ha dejado loco, pero literalmente loco, gente. Así que bueno, solo deciros que me ha sorprendido una vez más, Padre Rail. Lo hizo de nuevo, Padre Rail, ha creado un monstruo de actu y de stream. Además, el stream es buenísimo, ¿sabes? O sea, la actualización es fuerte, pero es que el stream es increíble. El stream de esta versión es totalmente increíble, bro. Pero increíble. O sea, ha sido al principio normalito, iban enseñando cosas, tal, los eventos, los personajes, normalito, ¿no? Pero de repente han puesto el turbo, y han empezado pa. Entonces yo no sé qué va a pasar para el aniversario y para el año nuevo chino. Tienen que darnos lo más puto grande. Estoy flipando, ¿eh? Estoy flipando. Personaje gratis, de 5 estrellas. Promocional. Por la puta cara. Así que nada, gente. Yo espero que os haya gustado este vídeo. La verdad, creo que el mejor stream casi de versión. O sea, creo que es el mejor stream de versión hasta el momento de Honkai Star Rail. Es un stream que me ha dejado loco. Pero loco, ¿eh? O sea, loco, ¿vale? Se la han sacado. Así que nada, gente, espero que os haya gustado tanto como a mí. Like si así ha sido. Recordad los códigos, los tendréis en la descripción o en Twitter, donde queráis. Y nos vemos en el próximo vídeo. ¡Sed felices! Peace.